Let's see what the fuck is up. Let's see what the fuck is up. Let's see what's going on. The Empress, Death in reverse, Ace of Swords slipped over. Five of Wands in reverse. Ten of Pentacles. Ooh, and the Ten of Swords. We have 2 10s here. What's coming to my mind to say simply is the only way out of something is quite literally simply through it. You know, the Five of Wands that focuses, it's a very chaotic energy, whatever it may be here, right? A lot of clashing and everything of this nature. But whenever like we find ourselves in these periods, in these moments or whatever, because you know sometimes it's just something you cannot escape, but when you're in it, you have to keep your mind on the end goal with this Ten of Pentacles, which is kind of just like, what's the word? I'm not even gonna say it. Anyway, you have to keep your mind on the end goal rather than like allowing the period, the undesired period that, you know, you might be experiencing or you might be in to really define you or to put out your flame or to put out your fire. Because it's really in these moments where we really recognize how really fucking resilient and how powerful and how strong we are. And you know what I mean? What's the Five of Wands about? It's cloudy outside. The Wheel of Fortune, because it's to understand that time, that period, it's not permanent. It's all temporary. And these, like I said, these are the periods that mold us. Four of Swords, the Chariot, and the Ace of Swords. I feel like that's kind of like a little bit unprofessional of me to burp in the middle of this, but like, I'm just being like me, dude. Like, I gotta burp. But yeah, that's kind of all, like what I really need. I don't really feel the need. Look, and I love that we have this Nine of Wands here as well too, because the Nine of Wands is the energy of sometimes feeling like you're being cornered, feeling like you're boxed in, like it's a cornered kind of energy, right? You know, with the Five of Wands, like I said, whenever, just to really round this all off, whenever, you know, you find yourself, like I said, going through like a very turbulent kind of period where a lot of conflicts and everything, or just a lot of clashing internally but also externally, right? Like I said, it's up to you how you allow that experience to mold you and to direct you, right? But the thing is, though, with the Nine of Wands, right, as I always say in my other deck, it's described as a person, they're in a maze, and it's very, you know, it's, I don't really want to be in a maze, like the, whatever, but, you know, the person, they're sat down and they're really strategizing and they're really trying to figure out how to naturally get out of that maze. And even though, you know, sometimes when it feels like something is never ending, especially with the Ten of Swords, which is, you know, like, just feeling like you're at rock bottom, it's just kind of just like, dude, like, you know what I mean? It's funny though as well too, because the Nine of Wands makes me think of the Magician, right? Because the Magician knows that they have all the tools necessary to step into whatever, to reach or attain whatever desired outcome that they're wanting. The Magician can create and just do whatever they really want to do. It's all about, like, you know, alchemy and everything of this nature. So even when you're feeling like you're boxed in, like you have no control, or like all hope is lost, what tools do you have? What was I gonna say? Sorry. Yeah, whenever you're feeling like I said, like no hope, whatever it may be, you always have some kind of tool, some kind of outlets. You'll always have something to sustain, to support you, right? And it also brings me back to like the Hanged Man as well too, which is a very important card, because the Hanged Man focuses on perspective. Your perspective, your mind, your mental, you know what I mean, dictates everything. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I've been saying that a lot, right? Like, there are going to be highs, and there's simply like going to be like lows. Like, you cannot avoid it, you know what I mean? And I'll say, like, you know, like sometimes, like when I find myself in a murky situation or whatever, and I find myself just thinking like, damn, like why couldn't, like, it's just why is it going this way or whatever. And that's a normal thing. We're human beings, nothing wrong with that, but don't feed into that, because it is what it is. This is what it is. Like, whatever one is experiencing, whatever is happening, whatever, this is what it is. Hoping for, oh man, why did this, like, it's not going to change anything. But what changes is your perspective and how you move forward, and the actions that you take. The Wheel of Fortune serves as a reminder, to be honest. Like I said, the pendulum goes back and forth. You know, nothing that we ever experience is going to be permanent. And everything in this life, everything in this world is cyclic, right? With these two tens, and the Wheel of Fortune, which is basically three tens, right? And tens naturally focuses on cycles and completions and everything of this nature, right? And we're going to constantly and continuously find ourselves in the same kind of experience or situation or kind of cycle, because it's teaching us something, right? And when we have that knowledge, whatever it may be, and whenever we find ourselves met with that same kind of experience, now we know how to really get out of it, or how to maneuver it now, rather than like allowing it to maneuver us, if you know what I mean here, right? Think of it just kind of just like, I don't know, being like in a video game, and you have you're constantly like doing a certain kind of like a level, but each time you try, you know, it gets easier and it gets better and you understand it more. And it's until that really you can carry on. That's really what the hell be happening here, to be honest with you. Like, things are so cyclic here, it's insane. I mean, you see it happening in nature all the time. It's all cyclic with the seasons and everything of this nature. And we are no different. Our lives are no different. You know what I mean? So what are these turbulent like periods and moments, like what are they teaching you? The Eight of Swords are in reverse. You are not as stuck and trapped as you think you are. You never are. But I kind of feel like that's all that I really want to just like say. You know, And I guess like I'll also just like share this like as well too, as I feel like I'm ready again to kind of just, I feel like I'm fucking ready again to start doing readings for people. It was nice taking a step back and everything of this nature because I really like needed it to, because I was getting like really, really, really pissed off with like all the goddamn like love readings and everything of this nature. But to be fair, I was on TikTok, and TikTok is kind of like a unserious platform for me, and no shade, no tea, whatever the fuck. And like I always say, like nothing wrong with like love readings or whatever, but I crave and I desire when it comes to, you know, doing readings for people. I, of course, it's not all just about me and what I'm wanting. Of course, it's like a two-way kind of thing here, but I would prefer readings of substance, of readings that like genuinely like help a person and like helps them to grow. And I want to help, right? But I'm not helping if the only concern is just about love. And when I give what I need to say or whatever, when it's not taken, and I have to keep repeating myself and repeating myself. You know what I mean? Like that's very frustrating. But I'm really ready to start doing readings again for people and everything of this nature. It was a pleasure and I enjoyed it very, very much. So I kind of have to just like really work on getting back into that somehow. Perhaps like most of like 3 years. I don't really want to go back to TikTok. It was really beneficial for me, but sometimes the easiest things aren't always the best. You know what I mean? But I also don't want to just like limit myself to just readings. You know what I mean? Because that's simply just the tip of the iceberg.